Lots of new twists and rumored changes are coming up for the Judgment Day, so we'll see what's new there. We'll also check out what's new with Pat McAfee, the Wyatts, and more. Starting things off with everything new in the world of the Judgment Day and the Terror Twins, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. News for the group actually started up early Monday morning when a report from WrestlingWorldCC claimed that WWE was allegedly considering a new change for the Judgment Day, and how the change could be happening in the immediate future. They claimed that the #1 rumored new name for the rebranding of the Judgment Day would be Street Trash, which is what Gunther referred to Damian Priest as during their build-up for SummerSlam. There was mixed reactions to that rumored new name, with most fans feeling like that new name would be a giant step backwards for the group. But just a few short hours after that report came out, WWE Shop published a new shirt for the Judgment Day that still featured their old name and doesn't even start shipping for a few weeks. So the fact that they have a new shirt coming out later this month that still features their old name is a very good sign that the Judgment Day's original name will be staying intact, for the time being after all. It wouldn't make much sense for them to release a brand new t-shirt with the Judgment Day name on it if they were changing the name in the imminent future. But then again, WrestlingWorldCC is often very accurate with their reports, so it is a bit of a tricky situation to know what's true and what isn't true. So we'll have to monitor the group name situation in the coming weeks. But getting back to the August 12th edition of Raw, lots of events happened to keep that story progressing. Rhea Ripley opened up the show to talk about all the emotions she was feeling at SummerSlam after Dominik betrayed her. She mentioned how she was sad, embarrassed, and felt lots of heartbreak within that moment. But Rhea said that all those emotions had passed her, and now she was nothing but angry, and looking to come after Liv Morgan and Dominik Mysterio. Liv Morgan and Dominik ended up interfering with Rhea's opening promo, but they appeared in the crowd since their characters are the type of cowardly heels that don't really want to get that close to Rhea. Dominik Mysterio gets on the mic and finally explains his actions and reasoning for leaving Rhea Ripley. Dominik says that he's a man that deserves to be treated like a man. He criticizes Rhea for trying to change him and not letting him be himself. Dominik claims he was embarrassed to be bossed around by Rhea and calling her all those different nicknames. Dominik said that now he's got Liv Morgan by his side, how she's the one calling him all the nicknames and other side perks, such as chicken tenders and video games. Dominik also listed the one thing that Liv Morgan did for him that Rhea never did, and that was finally help him pin and defeat Rey Mysterio. And that is true. That was a very crucial part of this story because Dominik's main goal since leaving his father's side was to defeat him in a match. Dominik had 3 opportunities to defeat Rey Mysterio and lost them all until Liv finally assisted him in a big way in pinning Rey Mysterio the 4th time around. So everyone kind of figured that Liv Morgan helping Dominik achieve one of his biggest career goals would definitely win him over, and it absolutely did. Liv Morgan then got on the mic to brag to Rhea Ripley about everything she had accomplished up until this point. Literally everything that once belonged to Rhea Ripley now belongs to Liv Morgan. Dominik, the women's world title, the entire Judgment Day, just everything belongs to Liv now. It wasn't long until Damian Priest appeared from behind Liv Morgan and Dominik up in the stands and proceeded to try and take him out. Rhea eventually ran up the stairs to balance the fight out even more. Then after Damian Priest's win over Carlito took place, another brawl broke out between the Judgment Day and the former members. Rhea Ripley nearly even hit a riptide on Dominik Mysterio, but Liv saved Dominik and pulled him out of there, which pays off what happened the week prior where Dominik saved Liv. She now repays him for the favor. It was later announced that it'll officially be Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley against Liv Morgan and Dominik Mysterio at Bash in Berlin. It's the perfect matchup for this story, and it should be a fun overall match. They've already teased Rhea Ripley hitting Dominik with a riptide, so that's something that should be revisited and paid off in this mixed tag team match. It looks like Dominik will definitely take a riptide from Rhea Ripley at some point in that matchup, it also seems quite obvious to expect that the rest of the Judgment Day will get involved in that mixed tag team match. So even though it looks like it's fair on paper as a 2-on-2 match, the odds will be stacked against Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest after all. Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Sicks didn't physically appear on Raw this week, but their story still progressed in many different ways. The first way was through another moment on Pat McAfee's show. The Wyatts have been making a lot of subtle appearances on Pat's show for well over a month now. Things will often happen, such as power outages and other little things of that sort. And after Pat initially declined the idea that the Wyatts are messing with him, they came right back the next day with their logo and their VHS screen that called Pat a liar. So that appeared to be all the confirmation we needed to assume that the Wyatts were behind all those technical difficulties that were happening on his show. Well, it happened again on the August 12th edition of Pat's show, where the lights went out and only his microphone was cut off for a while, and everyone else was allowed to speak. Everyone thought that this meant that the Wyatts would come for Pat during Raw later that night, but it didn't happen. It appears to be that they're heavily hinting at the idea that Uncle Howdy and the Wyatts will eventually come for Pat, but they're toying with him for the time being. It's highly known that Pat is coming down to his final few weeks here of doing Raw commentary before he'll be doing college football again. So putting all the pieces of the story together, fans are assuming that it'll be an attack from Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Sicks that will write Pat McAfee off of WWE television for the college football season. That may be the big payoff here in the months of teases on Pat's show. But Bo Dallas did have a backstage VHS promo talking about how heavy it was for them to make their big debut in the same city where it all started for the Wyatt family. But he said that they weren't done at all, and how there's something very big that's about to happen that they need to work on. So an absolute major tease there from Bo Dallas for the immediate future of the Wyatt Sicks. And then later on in the show, Chad Gable had a promo from Paris, in which he spoke about how he'll be back on Raw next week to finish things off with the Wyatts for good. So as you can see, even though they weren't physically a part of the show for Raw, there's still a lot of things surrounding the Wyatt universe. You have hints against Pat, you got Bo Dallas's big upcoming plan that he's hyping up, and it looks like they'll have one last confrontation with Chad Gable. So quite a lot to be excited there for the Wyatt Sicks. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.